Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. Just the one video today, no two, and to be honest, there was enough to be able to cram into one video this evening, so we are here. Tomorrow though, you're going to be getting two, and why? Because one of them will be the standard club football latest as we go through the motions and see what has happened, but the second one will be your England-Switzerland Euro 2024 quarterfinal preview, where things begin to get serious. And we're going to touch on England at the end of the video because there's been news. But make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Don't forget to check out the socials as well as the second channel. Brand new video dropping this weekend over on there, so keep your eyes peeled. Let's get cracking. And bad news. Bad news for Chelsea. Great news for Arsenal. It's not done, but here's the latest. After Ricardo Calafiori's green light to move and contract, Arsenal have made direct contact with Bologna. Talks between clubs have started. No issues on Calafiori's contract terms, up to the clubs now. Arsenal currently ahead. No bid from Chelsea so far. It is what it is, isn't it? What else can I really say? There's the one thing at least is that we're not exactly stripped in that position, are we? You know, we're not completely bare boned there. We do have players. We're all right, you know. But I would like Calafiori personally. I do think he would be a decent addition. But if Arsenal are ahead, the only way Chelsea get in is if they did what they did with Mudryk, because Mudryk was on the brink of joining Arsenal, and then Chelsea decided to step in. Are Chelsea going to do that for Calafiori? I've got a feeling that we're just not going to bother. That's my own personal opinion and feeling. We'll see. I can be very wrong. We'll see what happens, but so far Calafiori is looking like he's going to Arsenal, and to be honest, I think it's a matter of time, very, very low time, if I'm being completely real, where Arsenal will get the deal done. The thing with this, and this comes with not having Champions League football. This is just it. This is what happens when you don't get top four. You're competing against Arsenal, who have been getting top four regularly now, who are in contention for the title constantly, in the conversation at least. You know, they don't ever look like they're going to do it, but they are always in the conversation. They're at the top end. You know, and they're in London. Everything we have, they have. Before, it used to be flipped. Before, everything that they had, we had. Yeah? And we had more. And now it's flipped. It's completely flipped. Now it's their turn. And that's just the way it is. So, Calafiori, I think, will join Arsenal. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts on that one. I think he'd be a good addition for them. I really do. I think that left-hand side needs attention in the Arsenal team. I don't think there's enough consistency. Tierney's always injured. Zinchenko's always up and down. So I do think that, you know, it gives them flexibility to shift formation as well, and it gives them flexibility in terms of options. I think he'll be a really good addition for Arsenal. So let me know your thoughts on that one. But in terms of Chelsea and the possible interest here, this is from, well, Ben Jacobs, not the best, but here we go. Mitoma is liked internally at Chelsea. Of course he is. He played for Brighton. So, I'm not surprised. But, listen, I like Mitoma too. I'll be honest. I like Mitoma. If there's one player, right, in that Brighton team, or at least one of the few in that Brighton team that you look and go, Mitoma's there, for sure. But there's a problem. Like, would I take Mitoma as a left winger? 100%. Would you take Mitoma or Raheem Sterling? Or would you take Mitoma or Mykhailo Mudryk right now? Yeah? I'd take Mitoma. But, and I think a reason as to why this is probably not going to happen, he was out nearly the whole of last season. He was fine up until that point. He contributes really well in terms of goals, in terms of assists, actions for club and for country. Japan International, we know. He is a good player. But he missed basically nearly the whole of last season. So I don't think it's wise to bring in someone of that or someone who generates that much concern. He had 3 injuries in one season, and one after the other. One injury, came back for a bit, got injured, another injury. Then came back for a bit, got injured with another injury. If I'm not mistaken, he had an unknown injury, an ankle injury, and then a back injury. And that's what kept him out for, how long was it? 132 days. The back? No. I can't be risking that. I'm very sorry. Cannot be risking that. There's one thing being injured to your leg, to your foot, to your even to your knee, and that's always not a good injury, the knee, right? That can always stop a player. But the back, nah, man, the back will. If your back is broken, you ain't moving. So it's I would say the most delicate part on the body, man. You do your back in, your body stops. So I wouldn't take the risk. So for me, no. I do like the player, but no. So let me know your thoughts on that one. Much appreciated. Now, this is interesting. Here's the latest on our sponsor situation. So Lucas Bezek saying Infinite Athlete dropped from the top of the sponsorship roster on the club's official website. The migration from principal sponsor to official sponsor originally assumed sleeve sponsorship from the following season. The club is trying to find a new front of shirt sponsor, but no one is able to meet their expectations. Remaining as the front of shirt sponsor for next season is still one of the backup options. You see, this is where you have to mention when you're missing out on competitions like the Champions League, right? When you're not providing the team with what it needs to get to a position that is going to be acceptable, then you're not going to get the sponsors for 50 million a year. We're actually out there trying to find a sponsor that's going to bring in more than what Infinite Athlete are doing. Infinite Athlete bring in 40. We're trying to find someone that offers 50. We're not playing Champions League football. We're not even playing Europa League football. What planet are we on? It's not happening. It's not going to happen. No one is going to offer 15 million to us. We'd be lucky to just extend Infinite Athlete for 40 million. Not playing European competition at the highest level. We're playing Conference League. That doesn't generate income, just to let you guys know, yeah? So the fact that we can still pocket 40 million a year, incredible. But you can't be asking big numbers without giving the sponsor big exposure. You just can't. So I don't know what we're doing here. But it's amazing that 2 years in a row now, we're having to actually look and really hustle to try and find a front of shirt sponsor, whilst other clubs are just getting it done straightforward. Like, I thought we were terribly managed on all sides of the game. What happened? You know, all sides of the club. We weren't so well managed on the footballing side. Apparently we weren't so well managed on the business side. So what's going on here? It's not a good look. It's not a good look. If I'm being honest, it's not a good look. Like I said, I reckon we're just going to keep Infinite Athlete and we'll see what happens going into next season. But again, this is part of the reason why I stress, one, we must get top 4 next season. There's no if, buts, or maybes. We must, right? And two, why I always go, please bring some pedigree to this team. Pay what you need to pay to bring in 2 or 3 players that are going to up the levels immediately, that are going to give the team a proper chance of lifting everything up. That way we can get into the top 4 as a minimum and then try and strive for more. And you don't give yourselves the tools and the resources, well, you can't be expecting that sort of result, can you? So anyway, that's that. Let me know your thoughts on that. Like I said, I reckon we're going to stick with Infinite Athlete. Do you have any predictions? Let me know. Another person's left Chelsea. Yesterday was Neil Bath and Jim Fraser, and that's been official today. That all came out today. Chelsea released a statement. So we wish Neil Bath the best, absolutely, and Jim Fraser, 100%. But here's more. Monsieur Manuel Marcelo Ribeiro is leaving Chelsea to join Arsenal. Now, he's been at the club since 2009, and yeah, one of the Messieurs. Now, that's not such a vital position. Let's be honest, right? Except if it was Billy McCulloch. If Billy leaves, I'm flipping. Yeah, if Billy leaves, because he has to or something, then I'm flipping. Now, there was a narrative that came out yesterday that Neil Bath left on his own accord, and according to many people, that's okay. That's not okay. People are looking at it and going, well, he chose to leave, so what can we do? Why did he choose to leave? Why is no one asking that question? Oh, well, there are some people asking that question, and there are people that were talking about this news prior to when it became official that explained as to why Neil Bath apparently was not happy with Jim Fraser having to go. And things being changed in the way that they've been changed. So, for the past 2 or 3 months, he has been apparently considering his position. He's been put in this position, and I'm not surprised. So that's Neil Bath and that's Jim Fraser. They're gone. Now, there's a big misconception out there that I have to address. Even people in my comments, there was a few of you that look at this and I want to correct the situation. Some were going, oh, don't worry, it's okay. Joe Shields has taken over. No, he hasn't. People have completely misread it. Joe Shields and Sam Gill will be in charge to look for their replacements. They haven't taken charge of their positions. That's what people have misread. People have gone, oh, we're fine. Joe Shields has taken it. No, Joe Shields already has a job at Chelsea Football Club. Sam Gill has already come in as, head of global recruitment. So he's working alongside Joe Shields in terms of recruitment, not to do with the academy. Joe Shields is director of recruitment. That's one thing in itself. They have now been tasked with finding the replacements for Neil Bath and Jim Fraser as director of football development and head of development, right? That's what they're going to do. They haven't taken over. And another misconception is people were looking at the Benfica coach that we're about to sign, the Benfica under-23 coach, who I have to say, Benfica and their youth setup, fantastic. So that's definitely a good acquisition. But we saw Neil Bath go and Jim Fraser go, and this Benfica coach that's about to come in, everyone's like, oh, great, look, we've replaced them with this Benfica coach, we're fine. Neil Bath isn't a coach. He wasn't. He was a coach. He was, and he was getting the Chelsea academy to win trophies season in, season out, and he was a coach. Same goes for Jim Fraser. But they're in their positions running the academy, right? This coach is coming in regardless, whether Neil Bath was still there or whoever. This Benfica coach is coming in, so he's separate. I had to clarify that because the amount of people that went down those two routes, I'm like, nah, come on, you can't, nah, surely not. Surely not. So that's, I hope, clarifies the situation. What we can say is that, yes, Joe Shields has done a great job, and having to rely on him to find their replacements is better than nothing, for sure. But it just sucks that Neil Bath and Jim Fraser have to go in the first place. And apparently, it's not over yet. We had Nathan Gizin that put out, and this is going in tune with a few other people saying the same. There's more departures to follow. There's a complete reshuffle going on. And this is why yesterday I wasn't happy with the Neil Bath situation. And everyone that thinks he just left by himself. Well, it's funny, there's many people leaving at the same time too. Nah, that's not him leaving on his own accord. That's him choosing to say, listen, I'm not dealing with this. See you later, I'm gone. Why has he been put in that situation in the first place? Why are we making all these changes? Now, change does have to come at some point, understandably. But when it's a healthy time for a transition, not when you're in the middle of the wilderness. Right now, let's be honest, Chelsea are still in the middle of the wilderness. No one can tell me what's going to happen next season. What's the bare minimum? What's the expectation? No one. We're just going to go in and hope for the best. We are. And I'm hoping for the best. Fingers crossed. And talking about hoping for the best, I hope Enzo Maresca is alive. Is this guy going to talk or not? We've still not got it. And today is election day in the UK, so I'm not surprised. They're probably not going to release anything just yet from Chelsea. But where is this geezer? Is he there? Is he AI? Is he real? Can we hear from the brother, please? Anyway, that's the latest with Chelsea. Let me know your thoughts down below. Newcastle United have done something mad. We are delighted to announce the appointment of Paul Mitchell as our new sporting director. Welcome to Newcastle United, Paul. That that is a great acquisition for Newcastle. That is, yeah. Man United ended up with Ashworth, who just left Newcastle, and Newcastle replaced Ashworth with Paul Mitchell. That is an upgrade. That, for sure, is an upgrade. Well done to Newcastle. They've pocketed themselves a top director. I would have done with Paul Mitchell if Chelsea was smart enough to go and get him instead of the Chuckle brothers. But it is what it is. We wanted to follow Brighton. But listen, Newcastle, I think, are going to be fine. That's a really, really good person to bring in. So, well done, Newcastle. Kudos to you. Respect. Man United, on the other hand, well, Ten Hag is here to stay, apparently. And he has got a contract extension. Now, Man United have triggered the existing +1 option in Ten Hag's contract rather than negotiating altogether fresh terms. Ten Hag keeps his title and his transfer veto, which was part of the agreement when he moved from Ajax. It's funny that we hear this because in the season, wasn't Ten Hag at one point complaining about transfers and all of that? He has the power. So, listen, the fact that they only triggered the extension, they didn't negotiate a deal like everyone thought, just goes to show you. And I'm making this prediction. I've made it already and I'll do it again. If things go left at United next season, they will sack him and Van Nistelrooy will take charge. For sure. I'm not putting bets on it, but you get the gist, right? I am nailed on this opinion. I can see it from a mile away. Let's see what happens, if I'm right or wrong. But I do think if Ten Hag does screw it up, Van Nistelrooy will be there waiting. And it's going to go down so well with the Man United fans because it's Van Nistelrooy. It'd be like if Thierry Henry was brought in as an assistant at Arsenal and then Arteta gets sacked and then it's given to Thierry Henry. We had something similar with Lampard coming in as the gaffer. Like it was beautiful when it first happened. It really was. Man United are about to experience that, but I think better than what they did with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So, because it's Van Nistelrooy, but we'll see what happens. That's the latest coming out of Manchester United. Now to end, England. Well. Now, I can't lie. I hear this and I start to get a little bit excited, but let's get into it. Gareth Southgate is planning to change the team radically and rip up the plan so far for when England face Switzerland this Saturday. This is going to get interesting. Now, if we take a little detour, here's the latest on Jude Bellingham. Bellingham set to be fined, but no suspension for the celebration in his previous England game, according to French media. So UEFA disciplinary committee apparently will fine him, but there's no punishment in terms of a suspension. For his celebration, as you can see right here, that was the celebration in question. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it? What was it? There was another thing that happened a couple of days ago or something. It was another celebration. It was the Turkish guy. I swear, the Turkish guy celebrated doing this. UEFA said, we're going to investigate it. What's going on? What is going on? Have UEFA turned to the police or... Anyway, listen, there's... To quote, right? A quote that didn't really go well for one fan base, but... There's bigger fish to fry, UEFA. Yeah, you got bigger problems. So stop worrying about people's celebrations. Actually sort out things that need to be sorted. But Jude Bellingham is available, so that's good. Now, the radical change, what can happen? Well, ITV have managed to put out the rumoured England team. I don't understand why this is getting leaked, but it's already out there, so screw it. But the rumoured lineup for the Switzerland game this Saturday, let me show you. Here it is. So the potential England 11, this is how they're rumoured to line up against Switzerland on Saturday. It's a back three with Pickford in goal of Konsa, Stones, Walker, Rice with Mainu next to him, Alexander-Arnold as a right wing back, Saka as a left wing back, Bellingham and Foden just ahead, and Harry Kane up front. So... I'm still not happy that Palmer is not here. How is Palmer not here, right? But I do have to be honest, you can't fit all of them at the same time. The only possible way that I see Palmer fitting into this is if we were to drop Bellingham deeper next to Rice and put Palmer in that half space role. It's those two behind the striker, Foden and Palmer. That might work. But Mainu does actually deserve to play. Rice hasn't been brilliant, but he is the real only proper defensive-minded midfielder that we have. Proper. Mainu can, but we need Rice in there. So this is better. For me, this is better. Because like this, you do have more attacking threat. And as long as those wing-backs are dropping deep in order to defend, then you should have enough cover defensively as well. But what I don't want Southgate to do is just, instead of playing actual wing-backs, but those wing-backs just become defenders and nothing happens. And then you're just stuck with a complete defensive unit. Like, I don't want that. But that's probably what Southgate's going to do. We'll see what happens. But let me know your thoughts. What would you do for the England team? How would you line it up? Let me know down below. And the preview for what I would do will come out tomorrow. So make sure you guys are here for that one. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification bell to be notified of all the content as it's uploaded. There will be 2 videos for you tomorrow. Transfer news and England preview for Saturday. And big Euros tomorrow as well. Spain, Germany. What's the other game? Is it Portugal? I'm actually going to check this out right now. It is going to be Spain, Germany, Portugal, France. We got Blockbuster tomorrow. So it might be a late upload tomorrow to try and exactly, go through what has gone down. So keep your eyes peeled. Make sure you're subscribed. Check out the second channel as well in the description. And I'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a good one, people. See you lot then. Take care and peace.